Dear students, welcome to our preparation for 2022 Junior Research Fellowship JRF, Senior Research Fellowship SRF. Of course, during the NET National Eligibility Test, you will be asked some questions in the interviews. So for that also, the general knowledge I am going to cover once again. This is the first class of JRF SRF NET 2022 general knowledge. See, in general, for a JRF, for example, if you take, there are 20 questions which are mandatory in the general knowledge. Depending upon the core group you choose, the general knowledge also is oriented around those core group, in addition to some memory type, the geographical area of India approximately, okay, plus or minus 328 million hectares, for example. Questions like that, memory type also will be there, okay. However, those memory type questions also revolve around, to some extent, there is an affinity with the core group which you select and the main subject that also you select. So, keeping these things in view, I am starting our first class on general knowledge. Now, the first question is the geographical area in India. The geographical area in India is 329 or 328.74 million hectares. Of course, usually when we set the papers for high level examinations or competitive examinations like this, usually we never give 0.74, 0.64 difference. At least a small gap of at least some 5% difference in the number, okay, from one number to other number. At least 5% is the thing, because the exams are attempted by students of very young age, okay. So give them a scope for getting marks. It is not an examiner never tries to give toughest questions which a student cannot answer. It is only to test the ability of the student, the interest of the student, above all, the service-oriented nature has to come out in the examination or interview. So, keeping those things as the basics, okay, the question paper is set. The first question is the geographical area in India is 329 million hectares. If it is given in the points, please write 328.74 million hectares. Now, the second question is total degraded land. Total degraded land in India is 187 million hectares. 187 million hectares. Gross cropped area is 193 million hectares. In 193 million hectares, the crops are grown, and gross irrigated area in this 193 million hectares of gross cropped area, gross irrigated area is 76 million hectares. Done. Okay. The net cropped area, for example, okay, gross cropped area is 76 million hectares, net irrigated area is 57 million hectares, net cropped area is 141 million hectares. In 141 million hectares, okay, India is cultivating the crops. So here the cropping intensity, this bit is likely to come in the JRF. The cropping intensity is 135%. That means in 141 million hectares of net cropped area, we are growing with the cropping intensity of 135% of cropping intensity. You know the cropping intensity growing one kharif one crop. In certain areas we cannot go for rabi crop. We cannot go for rabi crop in certain areas. We cannot go for summer crop in certain areas. However, some areas where we can go for rabi, summer and kharif also. In some areas only kharif and rabi we can go. So if you take these things, 135% of cropping intensity is there in India. Now see, with these 7 bits, most likely is a memory type. While giving a summary, I would like to once again impress upon you that the total geographical area in India is 329 million hectares, or precisely 328.74 million hectares. Total degraded land is 187 million hectares. Gross cropped area is 193 million hectares. Gross irrigated area is 76 million hectares. Net irrigated area is 57 million hectares. Net cropped area is 141 million hectares, and cropping intensity is 135%. Here, as far as SRF is concerned, from these a bit is certain to come in one form or the other. Now, please understand, SRF is generally an advanced type question. Now, here, Indian economy, as far as agriculture is concerned, is considered as land surplus, labor surplus economy. Land surplus, labor surplus economy. Why and how? See, land surplus, labor surplus. Why? Because from these first 7 bits, if you try to recapitulate, out of 329 million hectares of the land, just 141 million hectares is a total gross crop area, with just 135% of cropping intensity. See, if you try to remember once again, the degraded land is 187 million hectares. Degraded land. Just net irrigated area is 57 million hectares. So, land surplus is there. Labor also surplus is there. So, you, the younger generation, would get an opportunity how to make this land surplus and labor surplus by providing labor, good employment. This surplus land has to be brought into food security, that means crop cultivation. This bit will come. Indian agriculture, Indian economy, is a land surplus and labor surplus. So these points would come in the bit form in the SRF, in the general knowledge. Now let us go to some more, you can say that memory type questions. Forest area in India is 20.4% of the total geographical area. Forest area in India is 20.4% out of 328.74 or 329 million hectares. However, the optimum forest area required is 33%. Here is a concern again. So for the younger generation, this bit will come. 33% is the forest area required, whereas we have only 20.4%. Then, state having a highest geographical area. The states 1 and 2. Okay, well, let us see. 1, Rajasthan. Second one is the Madhya Pradesh. In India, geographical area highest is Rajasthan. Second one is the Madhya Pradesh. Now, the number 1 state in pulse production. The number 1 state in pulse production is Madhya Pradesh. The number 1 state for the food grain production is Uttar Pradesh. The number 1 state for total coarse cereals, is Rajasthan. The number 1 state for wheat production, not productivity. For wheat production is UP. Second wheat production is Punjab. Once again, just we try to recap it. These are all the memory type questions. State number 1, that means number 1 state in pulse production, Madhya Pradesh. Number 1 state in food grain production, Uttar Pradesh. Number 1 state for the total course of cereals, Rajasthan. Number 1 state for the wheat production, total production, Uttar Pradesh. Second is Punjab. Now, see, here I would like to impress upon you that rice crop is a subsistence crop in Orissa. However, rice crop is a commercial crop in Haryana and Punjab. Once again, I would like to say subsistence crop in Orissa, whereas rice crop is a commercial crop, because the consumption, from the consumption point of view, from the processing point of view, from the valuation point of view, in these states rice is a commercial crop. So this bit will come at the SRF level, advanced course. Now, see, Indian agriculture is typically characterized, as I said, by land surplus, labor surplus. Of course, as far as general question, I am telling, general question, as far as tea exports are concerned, the country which competes with India for tea export is Sri Lanka. Please note that Sri Lanka is the country which competes with India as far as tea export is concerned. Then, okay, I would like to share with you some more memory type questions. The annual world precipitation is 1000 mm. That means the earth, okay, or the earth, the precipitation is 1000 mm. As far as India is concerned, most of it is in the form of rain. So the rainfall in India is, to be precise, 1194 mm or 1200 mm. In India, 1200 mm. In the world, it is 1000. So India is bestowed with 200 mm extra of global average of precipitation. That the younger generation should take care of. The other thing is maximum area under irrigation. So what is the maximum area under irrigation in India? Okay, it is in Ganga Basin. Ganga Basin is the area where maximum area under irrigation. The maximum area under drip irrigation is in Maharashtra, and highest fertilizer consumption state in India is Punjab with 212 kg per hectare. Highest fertilizer consumption for the land. Of course, Union Territory is concerned, Pondicherry. The total fertilizer consumption is maximum in UP, because UP area is more. Total fertilizer consumption is maximum in UP. Highest fertilizer consumption per hectare is 212 in Punjab. And the last two bits of today's class is maximum area under irrigation is found in Punjab, 92.7% of total cultivated area. Now, here, once again, I would like to impress upon you that India is, this bit will come, India is a land surplus, labor surplus economy as far as agriculture is concerned. Some memory type questions also we have discussed. So like this, we march ahead learning general knowledge. Thanking you very much for your very patient hearing.